Hey y'all, I hope y'all are having a great weekend. I am being lazy per usual. Uh, it's been a whole week of doctor's appointments. Um, I did find out something pretty interesting from the foot doctor. She's like, "You're not using your walker, are you?" And I said, "How do you know?" She goes, "And you're limping real bad, ain't you?" And I said, "How do you know?" She said, "Because I didn't even know this was happening. I didn't know this was a thing, so I'm busted." She goes, "Because your left foot is almost flat. Your right foot has a normal arch. And it looks, but," she goes, "that's going to cause issues if you're not using your walker and you're limping as hard as you are." And I was like, dang, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that could happen. So if you're not using your walker and you're limping, use your walker. I'm going to have to eat a big old slice of humble pie and use it. I've been avoiding it because, like I said, I'm 42 years old. I don't want to use it. I don't. But if it's going to, which she said could affect my hips, and I don't want those affected. It's bad enough I did my knees. I don't need my hips going. And so it looks like I'm gonna have to use it. Yeah. So not a fan of that at all. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. All right. What else has been going on? I don't think there's much going on. We got to see the extended family this weekend. They cooked dinner for us and had us over. Even though she just got through with surgery, they went in and fixed her brain aneurysm. They put the mesh tube in her brain, and she did really well with that, really well. Her eye still hasn't popped open. It looks like this. And they thought it was the Bell's palsy. They thought it was a stroke, but it's not. And so she's going to have more surgery to open that eye, because nobody understands what's going on with that, because it should have opened. Anyway, so my quilt did not sell, which is fine, whatever, because my extended family, they want it. And I'm like, if they want it, I will give it to them. You know, I want to give it to them. And so it is what it is. Now, I'm working on another quilt top. Well, I'm piddling with an idea. Okay, I saw this idea. I'm piddling with it. There's different variations, but I don't know if the glare is going to cause issues. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. Now, I did this on a much larger scale with a pixelated version, right? But they were all solid 5 inches. So this one has I want to say a 5-inch, a 10-inch, and a 15-inch completion. I am trying to piddle with the 10-incher. Now, I believe this is free pattern, so I don't care if you see it, because I think I found it on the Pinterest. So I've been kind of trying to figure that out. But I am struggle bussing with it, and it's not because of the half square triangles that you have to make a crap ton of. But let me let me show you, and I don't know, let me show you. I may, and y'all might see what the issue is. I don't know what it is. But here is the block. Now, hold on. Let me hold on. Okay, so, oof, I'm sorry, I bumped the table and it bumped y'all. I don't know if it's because of my choice of background fabric. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I need to do a completely fully scrappy half square triangles instead of the same similar ones. I don't know, it just looks off. I'm thinking I'm going to have to do a solid background. I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know, but it looks off. And I think it's because I cut similar triangles. Like the way I do half square triangles is like this pattern. I take 2 5-inch squares, sew all the way around the perimeter, and then cut a diagonal and then cut a diagonal, and it makes 4 at a time. And then you get these little jewels, right? Now, I make mine much bigger than it needs to be because I don't do, well, cut your fabric at 3 1/8 or 3 7, whatever. No, I don't understand that. And I'm not about to try it. So I just round them up. And you're thinking, well, how do you get them back to normal size like you're supposed to? The thing of it is, I know people press these open and then cut and square them up that way. I don't want to risk, because when you do it, cut the way I do it to make the half square triangles, it leaves bias edges, which is not a good thing, but it's the easier way for me to make things, right? Right. So I don't want the option to open these up and have them stretch, right? I don't want that. So what I use, and if you don't have one of these, I think you should get on that and order one of these bad boys. But quilt in a day ruler, and what you do is take this line or this line and put your long seam on it, and then, you know what I'm saying? Do I need to show? Because I can show. So let's say you want it right there, or right there, right about there. Then you would cut, it would cut this off. Does that make sense? So, yeah. I find this, for me personally, it provides me a more accurate size because I'm not stretching it out on the bias and I'm cutting it down. I'd rather have too much fabric, and honestly, there's not a lot coming off of these. Like this is what's coming off, okay? And I know that's still quite a bit, but I'm doing this out of scraps, and I don't feel like I'm wasting fabric or money when I do it this way. So, but I'd rather cut them down because there's nothing worse than to make this half square triangle stuff, and then cut it out, only to realize you're still half an inch or even a full inch short. I can't have that. That would drive me nuts, because the biggest reason for me, I do not know the math on half square triangles. Like, the only way I knew to what size to cut these down is because the square that's right here, that's going next to these guys, is 2.5. So I knew that mine needed to square up to 2.5. That is the only way I knew to do that, because they don't tell you. I don't know how to do half square triangle math. I failed miserably in math. Math is not something I excel in, and I know that's probably makes you a little dumb, but I'll take it because I don't care. So I don't know what the situation is, but I'm probably going to have to just do something solid, or a less directional print maybe. And what I mean by directional, all these horses are going one way. You can see here, that's going a different way, right? So something a little less directional. I may need to call Miss Janice and be like, hey, what is going on here? What am I doing wrong? Because I want it to be good. I really want it to be really good. I was going to, all the pieces almost could be cut out of layer cake, right? I don't know where I got these white squares, but there's not enough to do that. But the pieces that I cannot cut out of a layer charm square is these guys right here. My other thought was to do a print with a background, a solid print, right? So that'll stand out a little more. But if this is going to be a background print, a solid print or whatever, then there could be some confusion here. So I think what I'm going to do is make a buttload of half square triangles so that I can just reach in and grab, because there was a pattern that Miss Janice sent me, and I think it's, maybe I don't know, but something about where I just put all the pieces in a brown sack, shuffle them real hard, and then just pull them out, right? That works for me. I'm an overthinker. I'm an overanalyzer. I can't make decisions. So for me, putting them in a sack or somewhere where I can't see them, and then shaking them up, mix them up really good, that works for me. So I try to do that in every pattern I can. So I don't know. I think making buttloads of half square triangles and mixing them up is going to be where it's at. Let me see, right? I thought I had it right here, but I may not. Nope. I thought I had the pattern. I thought it was up here, but I don't know. It's somewhere. Y'all know I don't stay organized. I can't, y'all. I don't know what it is, but I don't do organization. Like, I cannot find anything when I clean up this room, and I can't find anything when I put stuff away. It just doesn't work for me. But what I wanted to show you is most of this in here is charm squares, which are 5-inch squares that I've cut because I started to organize my scraps, but I derailed that train really quick because I was like, how am I gonna organize my scraps when I don't have the containers to do them in, right? Now, I did think about grabbing a 10-pack at Walmart of these and trying again, but it's just not on my radar right now. So it is what it is. But there is some random stuff mixed in here. I don't know. But yeah. So, because Walmart, I know some of y'all are like, well, you can just get these at the good old Dollar Tree. They don't have the thingy on it. Yeah, you can get these at the Dollar Tree for $1, whatever it is now, $25, $1.50, because I know they're going up. But Walmart has a 10-packer of them for less than $11. So, and they close better. They're much better quality. Much, much better quality. So, yeah. But anyway, the other quilt that I'm thinking I might do instead, I don't know. Here's another thought. I know I need to wrap this up because the videos are long. I'm sorry. But this is what happens when I go without talking to y'all. These come out, or they're supposed to come out 10 inches, right? So that would be easy to cut up 10-inch squares and alternate them so that the crosses are not butting up to each other. Because I think that would just not work. So I could take even more fabric, random fabric, and do that. I think that would look really cool. So yeah. But the other pattern I found on Pinterest, I think, is this one. Ugh. Now, there's 3 different sizes of stars that you put together, right? But I think I'm just going to do one of the sizes because the large star comes out 24.5 by 24.5. The medium comes out 16.5 by 16.5. And the small ones still come out at an 8.5 by 8.5. So even on the small ones, I think that would be plenty. You know, I'm just trying to stay away from anything that needs a solid background because I don't have background fabric. I have Scrap City up in my world. And yeah, I just need to get rid of the scraps. I know people are like, well, you should always want scraps. Yeah, but I want to get to a point, like with my yarn, that I don't have scraps and random pieces of stuff. I want to get to a point where I just have maybe half a yard or a yard of fabric stuff. I don't know. I do so much scrappy stuff though. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all know, see, I cannot make decisions. So I'm just gonna make a butt ton of these and go from there. I do have a white sheet that I got from the Goodwill, and I may cut that up for all the random the background pieces, or find another colored sheet somewhere. I'm telling you, but sheets from the Goodwill work every time. They just do. And I got, like today, I needed another sheet, a bottom sheet for my king size bed. I found a Ralph Lauren king size sheet at Goodwill for $3.99. I threw it in the tub with the rest of the sheets and did because I do laundry in the tub. I mean, who doesn't, right? So I do a lot of the laundry. If it's a big load, I go to the laundromat. But if it's just sheets and sheets, I just do them. And so I did them in the bathtub, and then I put them on the clothesline. Oh, they're gonna be heaven in a minute after I get out of the shower. It's gonna be heaven. It really is. And my solar dryer works really good in Texas. You know, I put them out there on that line, and oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. That brings back childhood memories. For me it does. But I call it my solar dryer. And then the heat is always on high, but it depends on what day it is if I get the speed. Because today the speed was pretty low. There wasn't much wind out there. But the heat is, we don't have a lack of heat in Texas. You know, and people are kind of like, well, what if it rains? Okay, extra rinse cycle. I'm down for an extra rinse cycle. Rain's good for them. Let them dry again. I don't care. So anyway, I'm gonna hush. I'm sorry these videos are so long, but some of y'all like them. Some of y'all are like, just shut up already. So I love you guys. I hope y'all have a blessed week. I've got quite a bit of progress to show for Stitching Monday, so I'm excited for that one. But y'all take care and keep hot stuff in your prayers this week. He's got to have a PET scan. He's got to have a biopsy. So it's a lot on his plate. I mean, I guess that happens when you have cancer. So, but he's got a lot to deal with this week. So, love you guys. Take care.